Ben. I am a person in recovery. I have been in recovery for about 15 months now. I am an educator. I am a friend. I am a son. I'm a brother. And that is where I'm at today.
Ben, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule here at the Ride for Recovery in Medina, Ohio. We're really grateful to be here, and thank you for coming in and talking with us.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I want to start at the beginning. Can you share a little bit about your childhood? So what your family life was like, siblings, any trauma you experienced, stuff like that.
So yes, I grew up in a household with my mom and dad. I have a sister. Nothing really to complain about. I grew up in a very lovely home.
So I'd like you to talk about your first use. What was it like and what did it do for you?
So my first use was I went down to my parents' basement, which is where they kept the alcohol, and I started drinking, and it kind of was just like me and my friends just doing something that we knew we weren't supposed to, and we were just kind of having fun, having kicks at that. What I've realized that it did for me is that it made me feel more comfortable of expressing who I truly am. As being a part of the LGBTQ, I was not comfortable expressing that in my teenage years or younger. So when I started drinking, I felt like it was an escape for me it helped me express myself better. Mm-hmm. And I feel like it made me more well-rounded and more liked. It calmed me. It's just made me loosen up.
Ben, can you share a story of your active use that really symbolizes your use?
So yes, when I started, I was just sneaking beers from my parents. And then I went to college and it progressively got worse. And then I would say the bottom was when COVID hit. I moved in back with my parents and I didn't have anything going on. So all I did was drink in my parents' basement, and I wouldn't do anything. I would make excuses of why I wouldn't go out and work or find a job. I would say people weren't hiring, or I applied to places and I really didn't. Just every excuse in the book so I could drink all the time. And you could go down, like my parents found me at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, just passed out drunk on the couch downstairs, and that was pretty normal for when COVID started.
How were your relationships affected with family, friends, and stuff like that during your active use?
So during my active use, I just ignored my phone. My friends would reach out to me. I wouldn't be interested if it didn't have anything substance related. And I just did not care about anyone else's wants or needs besides my own. Like, the only thing on my mind was drinking. Like, there could be a family gathering and my cousin could be turning 3. I wouldn't care. Would booze be there? Or I would make every excuse in my book not to show up. So my relationships with my family and my friends were incredibly impacted. I don't have any of the old friends I used to associate with. And as for my family, they have started to welcome me back. They never stopped loving me. They just didn't agree with my choices, and they have been a tremendous support ever since I've joined this recovery journey.
Mm-hmm. How was your mental, physical, and spiritual health during your active use?
Spiritual was non-existent. Physical was, I would get winded coming up the stairs, and if I would be going like 12 hours without a drink, my whole body would start aching and I would feel nauseous all the time. My social life was non-existent. I was just a shell of a person, just in a nutshell.
At what point did you recognize you had a problem?
I believe I recognized also around when COVID happened and my parents started seeing me that way. That's when I started to get the idea of it. It really didn't start to form until a year after COVID started, and I would be getting the jobs I don't like, and I was realizing that I was having an issue with a lot of people, employers, friends, family members. looking back on it, I realized that I'm the issue. I was the issue, not currently. I was the issue.
In the words of Taylor Swift, it was me.
I was the problem. Yes, absolutely.
What happened that you decided to get help, and were there any barriers that stopped or slowed you down?
So, my parents attended an Al-Anon meeting at Hope Recovery Community, and they were very connected with those, and they made it abundantly clear that if I ever wanted to seek help, that would be there for me. I honestly woke up one day in my trash department right before I had to go to work, and I felt an emptiness about me. I didn't feel sad, I didn't feel lonely, I didn't feel pain, I really just felt nothing, and that scared the living daylights out of me. And I went to work that day basically holding back tears all the time, and I went to my mother's house after work and I asked for the number to Hope Recovery Community, and I called and someone answered, and within a couple hours they said they have a place that I can go as soon as I'm ready to. There were no barriers. I had, luckily, a family that was already looking out for me and already had the information accessible to me. And yeah, I was in rehab the next day, and the rest is history.
What kind of support helped you the most in your early recovery?
The support of my family. That meant everything to me. When I went through rehab and I really got in touch with my feelings and started to build back the foundation of me as a person, when I got out and my family just gave me this, we're glad for what you're doing and we're proud of you, we're going to wipe the slate clean and we're going to help you through this. And that meant everything to me, and it still does. They have been a rock. They've been a major support system through my entire recovery process, and I'm forever grateful for that.
How has your employment journey changed in your recovery?
So, while I was in active use, I was not employed, and then I got employed as an educator. I was at a job for about a year, but that's when I had realized I needed to go and seek help, and I left. They were very understanding that my mental health came first, so I took a month and I went to rehab, and I came back and my job was still waiting for me. I'm still in the same field, not the same job, but all of my I've transitioned from one job to another since my recovery journey, and it's been seamless.
Okay. So tell us about your experience in recovery housing.
Recovery housing, for me, it was very helpful. It gave me just enough boundaries when I got out to keep myself on. The curfew, the mandatory meetings, the staff that was able to help and answer all the questions. It provided me with enough information and enough rules to keep myself on track with my recovery journey. Did it have its struggles? Yes. Living with a bunch of other men while in your 30s is not ideal, but it's a bunch of like-minded people that all have recovery on the brain living together, and if one person slips, there's a bunch of other people to back them up. So recovery housing altogether was a great experience for me.
What does your recovery look like today?
My recovery today looks like me being a contributing member of society and also being an active member in the community. I volunteer a lot. If I see another person struggling, I'm willing to help and reach out in any way that I can. And I have a social life now, which is new, and I love it. I didn't realize how much I missed that until I got it back again. So I believe it's a lot more positive than it was before.
What do you do today to maintain your mental, physical, and spiritual health?
I attend meetings. I volunteer in the community. I also just recently started working out again, which has done wonders. I am very open and honest with my friends and family, and just living a very open life.
So I heard that you facilitate a meeting for LGBTQ people in Medina at Hope Recovery Community. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, it is an all pathways recovery meeting, opening welcome to all people who embrace all different journeys of recovery, from all different backgrounds. And it's just a safe environment for members of the LGBTQ plus community to express themselves. And when it comes to that community, there's a lot of people in there that don't feel comfortable in basic 12-step meetings. So the base of that meeting is just to create an environment where they're free to be themselves and talk about the subject matter that they want to talk about and express the feelings that they're feeling without the feeling of being judged. So,
how has recovery helped to heal your relationships that were damaged during your active use?
So recovery could not heal all my relationships. There are some friendships that can't come back. You do some things you do in recovery, and some things you do while in active addiction, that some things can't be forgiven and some things cannot be fixed, and that's just the truth that you need to be okay with. But today I am very close with my friends and family, that my new friends that I've made in my recovery journey, and my family that have supported me through the journey. So I have a very close relationship with my family and my new friends.
Can you share an inspiring story from your recovery?
The first thing that comes to mind is very recently I was talking to a friend of mine in the recovery community, and I've recently gone through a lot of different lifestyle changes in job, changes in living situation, and they've all been great steps, and I'm very happy with all of them. And change can be hard, but my friend once pointed out to me, it's like, have you read the 12 promises and how you manifest what you want your life to be? And I was like, I've read them, I haven't really thought about it. He's like, you should really think about it in your current life situation. And I realized when he said that, till 2 hours later, I realized that everything that I wanted a year ago when I first started my recovery journey, I wanted to live on my own. I wanted to have a job in the field that I'm currently in. I have a vehicle that I like to drive and I've always wanted. And I literally, through all the hard work that I've done, literally manifested all of the things that I wanted when I first started. And that was a very beautiful thing to see.
What dreams do you have for your future?
Dreams. I would like to see the world more. I would like to travel. I would like to just be able to make a difference in the world and in someone else's life, like the people that have really impacted my life.
What are some internal and external motivators that keep you in recovery today?
External motivators would be, I love my job and I want to keep it. And when I drink, that's not going to happen. I like where I'm living. I just like my life and friends in general. And that is a good motivator for me to stay in recovery. Internally, a lot of my anxiety, I still have a lot of anxiety. A lot of people do. But when I was drinking, it was unmanageable. And me staying sober, I know that I can't keep that anxiety in control when I drink. So being able to internally understand my feelings and being able to work through them.
So I want you to look into the camera and imagine yourself talking to someone who has just walked in or come up to you and said, hey, I need some help. You're sharing some inspiration and hope for them.
Recovery can be really rough in the beginning. It was super rough for me, and to accept all the things that I've done and being able to face my problems head on was a terrifying thing. But I could tell you, as soon as you face that and you come the other side, you are going to love the person that you become.
Ben, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to come here to the Ride for Recovery in Medina, Ohio for Hope Recovery Communities fundraiser. We're really grateful that you were able to be here. Your story will help to spread awareness, humanize addiction, end stigma, and inspire hope one story at a time.
Thank you.
Thank you.